Hi, in this week's video, I'm going to be showing you my top 10 tips for this, the all new Peloton Tread, including how to get all your Peloton apparel for free. Let's get cracking. So my first tip is when you get your Peloton Tread is don't go all out to start with. Just pick a moderate level to start with and follow the instructions from the instructor. So if you look at the average demographic here for people who watch my Peloton Tread videos, our bodies are probably not the same as they were when we were 18. So if you don't believe me, have a look at a picture of yourself when you're 18 and then just go and look in the mirror. I know when I look in the mirror, sometimes I'm like, Mum? No, I'm joking, but we're probably different than we were when we were 18, especially if you're coming back to this. So the last thing you want to do is have an injury or get an injury which puts you out of action for a couple of weeks when you've just got your hands on this new tread. As well as just general running classes like this one, you've also got programs here, and the first two are you can run and row to 5K. So if you're really new to running or just returning after a long break, start here. I'd say this is perhaps more of an intermediate program. There's also all types of classes on here. They're not just running, you've also got walking. So these include walking and hiking. And then the running classes, you can just filter by the easiest and just pick like an easier place to start. Next, I'd say don't be put off with bad runs. So if I have 5 runs on this tread, 1 will be epic, 1 will be a right shocker, and then 3 will be kind of good. And that's where I would focus on. So those 3 runs that go well is where your improvements made and where you should be measuring your overall performance, not at the extremities of a fantastic run or a really bad one. Next, I would say go for personal best. So when you get a personal best, it means that's the best you've ever done on that 10, 20, 30, 45 or 60-minute run, but don't smash your PBs. And the reason I say that is if you've always got a personal best in sight, it's quite a big driver to actually get there and beat it. But if you have a fantastic day in March and you smash your PB, you could be looking at months or years before you actually get anywhere near it again. My next tip is get a heart rate monitor. So if you've got an Apple Watch, for instance, it's not compatible with the Tread or the original bike. I don't like wearing heart rate monitors, so what I use is a device that acts as a go-between. It's a bit like Kofi Annan. This doesn't speak to that, and then this just acts as like a go-between between the two. Let me show you it. So right between my bike and the tread, underneath the speaker, I've got this little device here. So this is the watch link. And this little fella just sits between the bike and the tread. When I walk into my home gym, I press this complication on my Apple Watch and I just say what I'm going to be doing, which is a treadmill run. And as you can see, it puts my heart rate monitor on there for my runs and it matches what it's showing on the watch there. And this also shows me, as well as my heart rate, it shows me right now I'm at 44% of my max heart rate. It gives you 5 zones. So as you can see here, I would say I spent far too much time in zone 5 and I should have spent more time in zones 4 and 3. And I also really did not enjoy this run. If I show you this workout here, you can see I've got a much better balance here of being in zones 3, 4, and only a little bit in zone 5. If you think having this data is useful, I'll put a link to the watch link in the description. And if you use my referral code, you'll get 10% off. Next, I'd say don't get too disheartened if you're not doing very well on the leaderboard. Runs will have leaderboards, and as you can see on this run, I'm dead last. So if it's starting to get you down a bit, you can just swipe it away like that. If I look at this run, for instance, you can see that I was way down this leaderboard. And on this leaderboard, I was in the top 3rd. So don't judge your performance by what you're seeing from the performance of others around you. So it might be that you've started a run that attracts semi-elite athletes. You don't know that. So don't be disheartened if the leaderboard isn't where you want it to be. Next, I would say don't just run, do everything else as well. So this is a boot camp class and Jess is half on the treadmill and then half doing a weights workout. I find these quite difficult, as you can imagine, but it does add lots of variety. In addition to that, you've got hundreds of strength, yoga, meditation, cycling, stretching, cardio, you can see them all. There is a lot of content on the Peloton app, which you can either use from something like an Apple TV or Amazon Prime, or you can just screencast these workouts from the Tread. So next, don't just rely on the short warm-up that's built into all the runs. Just spend 5 minutes doing a pre-run warm-up, and also at the end, a post-run stretch. So these really help prevent injuries, as you can imagine, and also aches and pains later in the day. This next tip is a really good way to track your progress. So this is the first run I ever did, and then what you can do is click on filter and filter it by just me. So what I'm seeing now is me from the 2nd of June, along with me from the 2nd of February, along with me from today. So I can compare how well I'm doing now against what I was doing back then. So I'm basically racing two older versions, or running with, I should say, running with two older versions of myself. So at the start of this video, I talked about how you can get free Peloton apparel. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. Now, Peloton have really strict rules around this, which I didn't realize. So a lot of times if you watch a review of a Peloton or some of my older videos, I might say, use my code, we both get £100, dollars or euros to spend in the Peloton Apparel shop. So that goes against their terms and conditions. I found out, I got told off. But here's the way to do it. So if you haven't bought a Peloton yet, and that goes for the bike or the tread or the rower, future-proofing, then all you need to do is speak to your friends and family who have got them. Have a really long conversation with them, try and use their Peloton bike or tread, and then if you're both happy and you feel they've given you really good advice, then they can refer you. So that means they give you a referral code. Once you buy your tread or your bike, then you will be given a code for £100, dollars or euros to spend in the apparel shop. You just pay for postage. There's lots of great sort of PE kit in there. If you've got a tread already, then just spread the word with friends and family. So you will be taught. How do you know if somebody drives a Tesla, is a vegan, or has a Peloton? You know the answer. They'll tell you, you don't need to ask them. So when you're talking about your Peloton, just mention to your friends and family, if you want one, don't just go and buy one. Let me know, I'll give you my referral code and we can both get a little something for that. I hope that makes sense with regards to how to do it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. This channel is mostly about laid back home fitness. And until next time, see you soon.